It's me, Brigette, Love Steady Life, and this is our weekly energy update. So I'm going to tap into the energy, and I've been tapping into the energy today. So I've got some messages for us, and I'll probably channel a little something too. The intention for this reading is to offer us some spiritual guidance and clarity to assist us with aligning with our highest vibrational realities in alignment with our heart center in our now moments. And so it is. Amen. I love you so much. Yay! Come on in. Share this with a friend now before we start getting into the messages, because then you're not going to want to leave. I was just thinking, ooh, do I want to share this with a friend? Taking my own advice. I'm such a weirdo. Heck yeah. The energy feels amazing. Before I get into it, I want to tell you guys that I started a podcast, and I'm going to continue to share some light codes I've shared on here, but I also channel messages in the audio recording on my podcast. I'm probably going to be recording my episode 3 today. Search for me on any podcast app, Love Steady Lifestyle. Hopefully I come up. I'm definitely on Spotify. And I hope those light codes help. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Boom. I might need another song. Can someone come sing to me, please? So, here's the deal, my loves. Do-do-do-do-do. Hey. Okay, I feel better. That one felt right. Right. What I wrote is, no. Let me not tell you. Let me just give you the message. I've had these light codes. I've had these light codes pent up for about 30 minutes. So, my loves, the innate nature of energy is expansion. Our energy is expanding from the inside out. As we are evolving, as we are ascending embodied, our energy is expanding. Now, as this is happening, some people were very conscious of the occurrence, and so we can kind of handle it and not freak out. Some people, it's occurring to them because their heart is been broken open, and so they're being taken on a spiritual journey, and so they're on a spiritual path, and so they're reaching ascension, but they might not even be spiritual. So that's kind of interesting that just came in, interrupting my message. Because what I want to say is that societally, it's pretty much entrained and trained into us that vulnerability is weakness. Because, then you'll get hunted, right? Vulnerability, because then you get taken advantage of, right? Vulnerability is weakness. And all the things that could be signs of vulnerability, such as the expression of some certain emotions, or emotions in general, somehow that is a sign of weakness. So oftentimes, our souls will start to expand, right? Our energy starts to expand. I gotta interrupt myself again. Don't worry, I'll come back to energy starts to expand. I also want you to know that your energy is expanding, and it's already expanded. I want to remind you that time is not linear. There's a parallel future timeline occurring simultaneously, and there's also past stuff going on too. There's a parallel future timeline going on simultaneously in which your field is already fully expanded, and you've experienced a multitude of expressions of vulnerability and strength in one. However, in this current now moment, we're tapping into that reality, but that's why I'm saying in the now moment, it's expanding. But it's expanded, keep that in mind. So there's nothing you need to reach. There's nothing you need to hustle or be like, no, or feel desperate for. Why not me? It's expanding, and it's also expanded. But I'm going to talk to you about the expanding so we can kind of ease the process, or maybe I can help you integrate. Maybe I can assist you with aligning in some higher vibrational realities once you activate some mental light codes while you participate in this reading. So yeah, I know I'm feeling a little goofy. I'm just really excited to be here. As your energy expands, At first it feels nice because it's so destined. It almost feels like relief because it gives us more space to stored, queued up emotions. Things that you haven't felt yet can kind of get like more space. But then you have to deal with it. A lot of shadow work has to happen before your vibration can raise enough for you to be able to sense the next level of your expansion. And then we learn in that next level compassion for the self, right? And sometimes those two things come in tandem. It's like, oh God, I've got a lot of stuff I've got to feel through. And so then I'm able to experience this compassion for myself. And once you process those light codes, then you resonate at a particular vibration where you expand even more. And then you can start to feel other people's energies very clearly. You can start to feel other people's energies very clearly. So it's also something that's extremely interesting that occurs as side effects to raising your vibration, like actual things. Something else that happens with the expansion of energy is feeling more sensitive, or feeling pressed by spirit to be more vulnerable. And so I felt inspired to talk a little bit about vulnerability and like what's so bad about vulnerability. And I'm not going to be able to hit on every single point that everyone's going to love, but I just thought I could channel something right now about it. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee and we'll get into that a little. Okay. So what I wrote in my notes is fear of vulnerability, and then under it in small letters, where's the strength? Like, okay, Brigette. So this is what I want to talk to us about, talking to myself too, talk to us about vulnerability. So first of all, I hope that it resonates with you, this light code that I'm receiving in the collective about how people are feeling like their soul is pressing them to be more vulnerable or to behave more vulnerably. And you may find yourself mentally experience some friction with that, or you may find yourself butting up against some of your programming that tells you that vulnerability is weakness. And so I just want to hold space for you for a second and allow you to explore that in yourself right now. Like, take a deep breath and just take a second. How do you feel about that for yourself? Are there places where it feels like your heart chakra kind of wants to just release something? Are there places where parts of you just wants to like, let go? Or are there parts of you that want to share something with someone and feel held back? Because those are examples of vulnerability. And right now what we're talking about is exploring that in yourself right now, in the moment. And so there are some places where vulnerability is inappropriate. If it's not a safe space, physically, emotionally, you will have to use your discernment, because sometimes there are other things that are priority. Like, I can still be vulnerable and I can be like escaping. But it's not about being that. It's like, it's not about fucking. Okay. Do you know what I mean? In fact, Spirit says, in response to the joke that I just made, the more vulnerable you can be, the more you are tapped into your innate instinct. Because all blocks to vulnerability are most likely tension blocks and fear blocks. Fear of judgment, right? Predominantly that society provided programming that we have that says vulnerability is weakness. So just keep breathing deeply. So it's because we are open that our intuition can communicate with our mind. The open heart, a willingness to acknowledge your own emotions and your human emotional processes, and have compassion for yourself. Through all of this. And then yourself starts to realize that this is a safe space to exist in your body. This body is a safe space to be. Okay? If it's not, like if you're not in a safe environment, then this isn't the case. This message is not about that. This is assuming, or not assuming. If you're in a safe environment, now here we are. This is what we're talking about. Yeah. The soul needs to feel safe here at home. And the soul communicates with us through our emotions. Through our emotions. It lets us know how we feel about things. And then the more we can respect that feeling body and honor it. Because a part of feeling something is like self-reflecting, right? Like, oh, that made me feel really shitty, but why? Because I don't want that to happen again, right? I want to make sure I take a different path next time. Why? So it's that self-reflection. This is something that everyone really has down now. But everyone thought that they would get to keep a little bit of themselves closed as they ascended into the fifth dimension. Everyone thought they would be able to keep some of their clothes in a place where you gotta enter naked. Take a deep breath. You will never leave behind you and who you are. You will never leave behind what is the authentic, true you. But you will leave behind every component that holds that back. And where are we going? Nowhere, we're right here. But here in this space, my soul is expanding and I am evolving. And because time is not linear, movement isn't actually something you need to see in the physical in order to know that something is manifesting or growing or changing. You can feel what I feel in here. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of movement. And so, Spirit says, when you're no longer in denial of the natural processes of your soul and how it communicates to you through your emotional body, through your emotions, when you're no longer in denial of that, you can just process shit. And it's not such a big deal, Spirit says. It's like when you have to throw up, sorry for the vulgar or whatever. If you have to throw up, it's like, so, no, that's not the feeling. It's more like, you're like, you don't want to throw up, and so you're holding it back, and you're spending all this energy on holding it back because you don't want to throw up, but you have to throw up, but you don't want to. Well, it's like, bitch, just throw up, go to the toilet, get it out, and move on with your life. Your body doesn't want it anymore. Let it out. So, take those light codes as you can. Take your deep breath. A lot of us are expending excess energy in trying to halt or stop or resist the soul's natural expansion as it approaches the boundaries of where you're comfortable being vulnerable with yourself and others. Because it is quite a vulnerable experience with yourself to be like, how am I feeling though? But how am I feeling? And why? And what am I going to do about it? It's pretty intimate. It's pretty vulnerable. And that's my first task for us, I guess, is just start to be more accountable with yourself. And I'm giving this message to myself too. Start to be more accountable with yourself with your experience of your own vulnerability, and know there's a difference between vulnerability and victimhood. We're no longer in the realm of blame. If bad shit happened, they need to be held accountable, and we move on. Spirit says a lot of people would love to take this message of vulnerability and tapping into your vulnerability and use it as an opportunity to allow the over inappropriate victimization demon to attach. Because if bad shit's happened, we gotta process those emotions. We can't say that didn't happen. We gotta be angry, we gotta be sad. We gotta be a victim. And because time isn't linear, it's like I'll always be a victim. Because something happened to me and the past is occurring simultaneously with the present and future, right? If my theories are correct, right? And these aren't just my theories, then I will also always be a victim. So it's not about moving on from it, it's just about growing on from it and acknowledging and being multidimensional about it. Okay. I have more. As the soul's expanding and we start to sense that more authenticity is becoming available to us, it makes sense that feeling vulnerable is kind of a result. It makes sense that we are becoming more authentic, we are becoming more open. You are going to feel more seen. You're no longer wearing masks that are blocking your true self. Naturally, someone being able to see you and acknowledge you for maybe the first time ever, more in a deeper, more soulful way than you've experienced, naturally, you will feel vulnerable. And so I'm telling you this now so that you won't be so surprised. So that in the safety of your home, before we start going out, you can explore all these leftover emotions. I don't even care. Take your time in processing your emotions. I don't want to rush you. That's the last thing I want to do. And I'm not telling you that you can't evolve if you have unprocessed emotions either. Your emotions are your business. That is the language that your soul uses to communicate with you about how you feel with things that are going on around you. I don't know what's going on around you, and I don't know what you've been through. So keep being whatever emotions you have to be. And we can keep raising our vibration. We can be sad. Actually, let me share something with you guys. So I've been a light worker since 2009. Oh my God, more than 10 years. Because I was blessed to have been divinely aligned with a lightworker guru 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. So I was literally given the resources. When there were very few resources, I was given access to them, and I took it upon myself to explore and to research and to dedicate my 20s to that. Meditation and research, and light body activation. Now, why would I share that, Spirit? Vulnerability, okay. There's a reason. Okay. So I come to you now as a light worker who has put like a lot of years and work in, and I still feel sad and angry and all of the emotions because I'm still human, thank God. Because if I wasn't, like, what would I be, a fucking spirit? Then I'd be fucking dead. Like, no, I'll take human. Oh fuck, thank you, Spirit. I remember why I told you. Okay, so I've been on this light worker thing for a while. In 2015 or 2014, there was a point in my life where I was in a high. It was during the year of 2012. I was in a high of my life. I was running a gallery. in Wynwood. It was my gallery. I had an apartment attached to it that I lived in. I had a dance floor in there. I was producing events, art walk events, art basel events, hosting the events. One of my best friends, who's an amazing stylist, like styled my fucking outfits. I freestyled into the microphone one night during art basel. I was making jewelry, selling it. Oh man, it was such an amazing experience, you guys. Fuck. I was teaching astral travel meditation classes 2012. And when the landlords told me that the building was sold and that we had to be out, I was heartbroken, but I was hopeful. But I never got to reach that high again in terms of having that space. I mean, oh my God, to have a 1,700 square foot warehouse in Wynwood now, hey, I don't doubt that the universe wouldn't give that to me if it wasn't what I needed, but it was a lot of work. But it was really cheap because it was 2012. Now that shit would be like 20 times the cost. Anyways, I'm tangenting. All of this is to prepare you, to tell you that I was fucking depressed when we moved out into a house. Into a freaking house. Like what? Like what? Like a house? How am I gonna like run events here? Wait, how am I gonna have my dance company here? I had my dance company? I mean, I can't, like what? So it was a lot for me to process. I ended up doing other amazing soul work, so there's not like I have regrets, but there's one phrase that came out that I guess I channeled from my heart. One night when we were doing painting night, me and some of my friends at the time, we did painting night. I was like, girls, I want to paint. Like, come over, let's paint. So like, I got this canvas, and I just looked at it. It's over there. Like, painted this big heart on it, and the title of it, and that became like the title of that season of my life, is "Though my heart bleeds, still it shines." Though my heart bleeds, still it shines. I can't help my endless compassion. I can't help the darkness that's going on in the world. And it breaks my heart. And it never stops breaking my heart. But I look outside and I see beauty everywhere. And I look in the mirror and I see beauty. And I look at my cat and I see beauty. And I look at the people around me and I see beauty. And I feel inside my heart and I feel beauty. And so, how cruel to myself would it be if I were to deny all those signs of light because I can sense the darkness as well? And I can't help feeling that my ability to acknowledge that beauty, and at the same time I have this like thirst to acknowledge it, my soul, my being. I think that's why I love doing these readings too. It's like, I see how bright you are. I'm looking at you because we do video readings, right? So I'm looking at you, I'm like, I see how bright you are. So I'm so happy to help you see that because it's fucking obvious to me. I think that is what has me feel very passionate about the energy of shining. I mean, we're already emanating energy. We're already emanating vibrations. We already have a frequency that's affecting the energy around us. I like the word shining because it implies that I'm emanating light. It's one quick word to use to tune your energy frequency. Take a deep breath. So I hope that helps. And like the sun, that light has a strength to it. And so every time you feel your energy expanding and you worry that the expression of a more authentic version of yourself may result in people seeing you more, let your sun shine. Let yourself be seen. Let them witness the brightness that is the authenticity of you. And do not be surprised if you get brighter each and every day. If every day you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm more beautiful. If every day you're like, damn, I think I can be even realer with everyone today. I think I can be even realer with myself today. Oh God, I think I'm about to hold myself accountable about some shit that I did. Ooh, I just realized I can set a new boundary somewhere. Oh, I just realized I can express myself in some way that's even fucking clearer. Yes. Do you feel that passion? Because I'm like genuinely passionately invested in this expression of me and tuning this frequency of mine. And what? You're telling me that if I'm just participating in my shining every day, it can get brighter and brighter and stronger. Because what Spirit says is, yes, Brigette, you're consciously participating, so you're able to facilitate the process and ride the wave in an efficient manner. While others may be unconscious of the process, not behaving or not being a way that facilitates it, and so instead life is uncomfortable. So that light code feels almost fully expressed, right? God, it feels really good to get those out. Okay. So I hope that I can clear those blocks and energy for you that you may have in being afraid to be you. You're afraid to be more you because then people will know who you really are. Please release that. Let your soul just shine. Trust you're a made being. You're a soul and a body. You're set. It fits. It fits, my love. It fits. Your little place in the world, your little place in 5D, it all fits. So if you'd like, the masks, the bullshit, the things you're telling yourself that you can't possibly be, even though it resonates as your truth, if you're not hurting anyone. Hey, and sometimes you gotta hurt someone, and I don't mean physically, never, because this is spiritual guidance. Spiritual guidance. It might mean telling someone how it is. Just understand that, no, there's nothing for you to understand. This is all for you to feel. This is all for you to feel. Vulnerability is strength. Sometimes it's not easy being your authentic self. But there are benefits. Okay? There are benefits. In my head, I'm going through all the benefits that I know of that have resulted from my own experience, but I'm not going to tell you any of them. I'm just going to giggle. And then you can just be creative. So that's my message on vulnerability, and I hope it helps. Thank you for the love in the comments, you guys. Love you. Love you. Oh, shooting love at you. Oh, I love you guys. That felt so good to get out. Oh my goodness, that felt so good. Gosh. Yay. Yay for us. I have a second thing on the list. Do I have am I gonna let's see what I can do, okay? I know I'm getting light codes out, and that's what's important. Light codes and cards. I mean, can we handle all that in one day? Let's see. Oh, let's see what happens. Bless you. Cat sneezes are the cutest. Okay. Resetting my energy a little bit, and then I'll get into the next message. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? Ready? Are you ready? You know the truth. You know the truth. You know so much divine truth right now, but you're obsessed with seeking outward for validation. Your soul feels so disrespected by your constant denial of it. Your soul feels so disrespected by your constant need to seek outward for validation before even considering the truth that you feel. You're obsessed. I know, right? I asked if you were ready. Okay. You know the truth. Stop searching outward for validation so you can realize what your soul is telling you. Okay? We've got to stop immediately going out for answers. Why? Because you are forgetting a part of the process. First, go here. What do you feel? What do you innately know about this circumstance? Your instinct can evolve. As your intuition evolves, don't you think your instinct will evolve with it? I want to repeat that. As your intuition evolves, don't you think your instinct will evolve with it? Your soul is talking to you right now, and you're ignoring it, you freaking jerk. How dare you disrespect your own soul like that? How dare you honor my soul more than yours? Ugh. You would listen to Oracle Brigette before you listen to yourself? Ugh. Yes, I'm being dramatic. On purpose. Obviously, this is what Spirit needs. Spirit came to the right girl. Spirit, I'd love to be dramatic. Thank you, Spirit. I never get to be dramatic. That's a lie. More like go. Do you see it in my eyes? More say. Same topic. How dare you? You know you're the only one who's bringing in that particular channel from source. You know each of us are attuned to a particular nuanced frequency, and each of us have a different specific channel to source. I'm so not used to bringing through energy that's strong like this. A little different. But I listen to Spirit because I'm a vessel, and my vessel is flexible. Okay. Hate to drill those light codes into you guys like that. I mean, it's fun, but you can see I was fucking laughing. It's taken a long time for me to be able to give you guys energy without taking the energy on and like thinking that there's something wrong in me. So hallelujah to that. She's staying light, even though she's given a heavy load of light. Of truth? I don't know. How are you gonna receive this? I don't freaking call it whatever you want. Please, guys. There's a divine truth inside of you. Before you seek out, first go in, because then when you seek out, you have something to reference with. How can you really say if something does or doesn't resonate with you? If you have gone immediately out. So, that's a lot. You know the truth. Stop searching outward for validation so you can realize what your soul is telling you. The thing about having your own special little channel to source energy is there are really special inventions that you might be the one to bring into fruition. Ideas, considerations, luckily, or blessedly, or divinely, you could say, we are all connected on a telepathic grid. The collective energy that I'm tapping into. We're all connected on a telepathic grid, so you don't have to do that much work to do your job, because you're not the only one here. Each of us have a specific channel to source, because we each have our own portal to source within us, which is where I share my messages from source. Through me. And you can do it too. But right now, what I'm specifically talking about is this collective energy, and how, yes, you have a specific channel to source, and so the information you bring through is unique to you and it may never reach the world if you do not interact with it or access it within you. But I also want you to know that you have to do very little to access it if you are divinely meant to access it. If it's there for you, it's there. I'm going to get into more detail. Sometimes all you need to do is be willing to think about something to activate its energy on the telepathic grid, because there may be like 3,000 other people just thinking about that thing too, and you activate it and you make it easier for them to think about it too, and you can upshift the whole concept into the next level. The power of your creative thoughts and your mind is really an interesting thing. And just like how I'm tapping into the collective energy first, and then I'm channeling. It's like I tap into the collective energy, I receive the energy, and then I channel a message from source through me. So my soul speaks to you. Your soul is a multidimensional being. There is an aspect of your soul that is actually in communion with source at all times. And so that's how, I use the word spirit and source and myself, and when I'm channeling, oftentimes I'm interchanging terms. It's multidimensional, baby. So understand, I'm sharing information with you. I hope it helps. A lot of it's new to me that's coming through. But it resonates if you feel like you already knew it. This shit is resonating if it's like, oh yeah, I already knew that. I didn't know that, but I knew that. That's my favorite kind of light code. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can describe it. Or it feels like, oh, she's reminding me of that. It feels more like I'm reminding you of that. It's because your soul already knows. And that's my favorite kind of validation, because that's an expression of you having light codes queued up in one of your fields, or, queued up in your energy field. And then I say things and it clears blocks in your energy field. So then those light codes can stream in. It's the best feeling. It's just that I'm open as fuck. I put a lot of years in, so I'm open as fuck. So I receive a lot of this stuff first. Not first. Whatever. You know what I mean. When we're all in 5D, when everyone's psychic, the collective might not need to be tapped into the way I tap into it. I'm so excited to see how my powers evolve. I'll probably still be making dances. I'll probably still be an artist, that's for sure. I'll still be doing my favorite things. That feels good. So those were my main 2 light code messages that I wanted to get out in our energy update. And then at the top of the page of where I wrote my 2 little notes, I wrote one more thing. And so it's just a quick little third closing message, not a closing message, because I'm staying on the live. Spirit asked me, are you really rich if you're overworked, overtired, and resentful? What is your definition of rich? And as you try to manifest financial wealth, if your body is dying, do you think the universe will take priority and assist you with manifesting financial wealth when you are not making yourself a priority? A lot of us are out of work and at home. That's a perfect time to rethink and ask yourself these questions. How does it feel to have enough sleep? You might not be getting enough sleep still, so this might not resonate, but how does it feel to not be overworked? How does it feel to not be exhausted and overtired for once? How does it feel to not be resentful and hating your boss for overworking you for once? How does it feel to not have to wake up super early and get on the public transportation or get through traffic? How good does it feel to get to work on your own personal clock? Again, this might not resonate for everybody, but you know who you are. How good does it feel to have that time alone or at home or with the loved ones? How good does that feel? Make sure you include those things that feel good in your requests for the universe. How dare you disclude those things and just ask for financial wealth? How dare you? If you're my fucking husband and you're like just trying to manifest wealth, like, oh, fuck the wife. Nah, I just want the fucking wealth. Thanks, jerk. I don't have a husband, I'm just using an example. So yeah, I mean, unless that's all you want. But what are really the best things in life? Okay? I'm not saying money's not an amazing thing. I'm not saying having resources isn't an amazing thing. But I also really like having enough sleep. I like feeling well rested. I like feeling like I have excess energy so that I can be generous. And I like being tapped into myself so I can feel when my battery is running low so I don't have to over push it. And I'm willing to see. I'm willing to take the battery, you know. I'm willing to say, hey, battery, what can you do? But usually if I'm actually feeling like my battery is running low, it's time to rest. Because for the most part, I am an infinite source of energy. I've got a lot of it. I like feeling like I have time for myself. I like feeling that I'm not being rushed by anyone. And that I can work on my own clock how I want with no boss. And so I include that in my requests for manifestation with financial wealth. There are other things I include in my requests for manifestation, but I will not share all of those today. All messages have been provided. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. Yeah, we did the thing. Yeah, we did the thing. Yeah, we did the thing. Feels great. So, yeah. That was the energy update. I hope it helped. You're very welcome. Thank you for the love. So here's the deal. I am going to end this video. I'm going to take a quick little break, and then I'm going to come back, and we'll do a short tarot and oracle reading with a more specific predictive type of energy report to get us through the week. So yay. Yay for us. I love you very much. Thank you for holding space for me, and thank you for your patience with me as I brought through these light codes. I hope they helped. If you gotta run and you can't stay for the next reading, it's fine. I'm gonna do my best to keep it on my page, and I'm gonna post it on my YouTube also. Yeah. I'll give you guys all the rest of the... No, I'll just tell you now. In case you don't know, I've got a website. I've got my articles there. My May content is coming out next week. You can book your personal reading with me there. My Awakening Resources page is there. So, you know, check out that website. If you need your angel numbers list and you want to look into your angel numbers, I also put that on the website. I love you guys. Be back in a minute.